Okay. I went to the poverty dialogue where we did a simulation on poverty. And I was a 9-year-old kid, and I have a 7-year-old brother who had ADHD, and I lived with my grandparents. And because my mother was in jail for drug charges, and my father was not in the picture. And unfortunately, this world is a lot like that. And as college teenagers, we don't really understand that the world can be like that. I mean, we kind of just get in the whole I'm blessed, you're not. Let's just not think about that because it's upsetting and depressing. And I mean, it is. I can't tell you it's not. But I mean, the entire process made me think of how blessed I am and how much my parents love me. Because if they didn't love me, they wouldn't have done what they've done for me. I mean, my dad lost his job with the economy going up and down when I was little, and ever since then, I feel like if he hadn't, we wouldn't be where we are. But if we hadn't, then I wouldn't be where I am, and as humble as I am. And some days I do, I'm not. But then a lot of the days I am. I'm very grateful for what God's blessed me with. And I wouldn't have been able to see that if I hadn't had the chance to live the way I've lived. Now, don't get me wrong, we never were at a chance where we were going to go be on the streets or in a homeless shelter, but there were some rough times, and I was little during them. I was actually in first grade. Sorry, I'm sick. But it made me really appreciate what I have. And I also was thinking, because I'm a nursing major and I want to do emergency nursing, so I'm going to be seeing a lot of these situations. And what I found that was really different, they were saying the lady who ran the healthcare stand, because there are different stands. There's a bank, and there was the pawn shop, and school, and all these other different things. And you had to basically go to each one to pay your bills. And no one ever went to the healthcare. And it's unfortunate because, everyone's going to get sick. That's the problem. And if they're sick, they're not going to, they're only going to come when it's major, which means it's going to be even more expensive, which they actually, gave us a card because my family forgot to buy food for a week. So they were like, if you do this again, you're going to have a health problem, which, yes, I understand that. And that's why a lot of these health problems occur, because they're not getting proper nutrition and proper health care. And it just made me think that as a nurse, I really want to do well to help my patients and to understand what they're going through. Because that's what they deserve. They deserve to have someone who's going to treat them as an individual and not just a name on a piece of paper. Or, you were off the street. You're on the streets. How am I supposed to help you because you're not going to pay for it? So I feel like a lot of that also goes into the whole healthcare debate. Now, the way that the TV portrays it, I see it as the TV is saying that everyone should get healthcare from the government. The government should pay for it. And the way that the Democratic Party is saying is that everyone's going to get health care. It's all going to be good. We'll have equality, but equality has never been America's strong suit. We've tried, but it's not always going to happen. Even for instance, today, we have friends who they applied for MIT. One of them got in. The other one didn't. Unfortunately, if you're a white male, you can be ridiculously smart, but you've got to be number one. Number two in my class didn't even get it. But if you're a minority, because we're trying to spread equality, it's not I feel like that's kind of the downside of equality. Because if you're trying to give equality to everybody, that means you need to help everybody. Not just the people who seem to be struggling, but everyone, including white females, white males. I mean, everyone should get help. Back to my original thing. But the Republicans I feel like they are saying that, we shouldn't have health care because no one's going to work for it. Okay, this experience kind of opened my eyes to that, because I agree, if you're not working for anything, I don't want to pay for that. Like, if I'm working, I don't want to pay for you to just go sit on your butt and do nothing. I feel like that's unfair. And that's a waste of my money. I'm just saying. Because you need to work hard. When I get older, I want my kids to work hard. I don't want to just give them everything. I'm going to give them stuff, but, I want them to grow up and be able to do that on their own and have initiative. So, I feel like the healthcare, being able to provide it for everyone, I feel like for those who are working and trying, that is an amazing thing. Because it actually will give people the chance to get health care, and it will give them the chance to be healthy individuals, so they don't have to come. I mean, unfortunately, the ER is filled with a lot of people who, if they had taken care of themselves before, they wouldn't have had that problem. But unfortunately, the ER, if you broke your leg last week or sprained it, and then you're going to run around on it, or say you have a cold, and it goes to pneumonia, you have to go to the hospital when it gets that bad. I'm sorry, you can't just fight off pneumonia yourself. So, I feel like healthcare would help. So, that entire poverty dialogue was actually really eye-opening. Part of it was kind of hard to go with, just because, I was a 9-year-old kid. And then there were people who would, get pregnant or go to jail or something. This stuff really happens. And I feel like you should, I feel like you should really, instead of just simulating it in, the ballroom of a hotel, I really feel like it would be better of a simulation if they did it, outside somewhere else. But it was really good, and I enjoyed being part of it, and I'm actually thinking about maybe helping out with it.